Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi.
Good, how are you?
Trevor, what's up?
How's Comic-Con treating you?
Awesome.
So good.
We're on a
Yeah.
boat.
The last season ended with a bit of a, upheaval. How are you guys feeling about all the changes that's coming to the show?
It's the nature of the beast, and so we signed on for that, and so we're just moving through gracefully with even more love, with even more commitment to telling a good story, right? Right, gang?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was hot. It was hard, and it was heartbreaking to say goodbye to some of the original group, and obviously Kim, who we love and adore so much, and Frank. But it gives us a great chance to tell a really different narrative and like bring all these new characters in, have everyone be completely isolated and on their own for the first time. So yeah, it gives us some good opportunities.
And also, Lenny's here now. So that's like it was a big
Where did you come from?
where did you come
No,
from?
Where did you come from, Lenny?
You actually haven't
I just
explained
started
yourself.
walking, and then when I stopped walking, there were all these people around me.
I still
And
have
then that's
questions
where I
about
was.
that too. I'm like, so you walked
You
all the
we
way?
looked
so you
it
walked.
up in
Okay,
the
so
map.
You
questions.
could tell by how my boots
When they
disintegrated.
called
That's
it Walking
true, that's
Dead,
true.
they meant Morgan walking. all the way
Morgan
to
walking.
You're the Morgan
Dead.
Dead.
And Morgan arrived.
How did it feel for you to join the show?
It was exciting, actually. I mean, it was scary. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very scary. I mean, it was a risk with the character. It was a risk with the storytelling, and but it was I felt a challenge that I couldn't say no to. And time will tell whether or not we succeeded or not. But so far, I think we're getting away with it. But don't take me at my word.
And for the new cast members, why did you guys want to join?
Well, I just thought it's a great group of actors, and I wanted to see if I could hold my own with them. You know, I like that kind of challenge. I had friends on the show, people I'd admired. I heard Lenny was going to join. That was good news for me. I don't know what it's like for him working with me, but I'd like to hear if he's intimidated at all.
I'm intimidated. I'm
Because
scared.
I was.
I sense lots of fear all around here.
Please
How about
save
you,
me.
Jenna? Or how about you?
Please. I mean, yes, I had watched the show and loved the performances, and Lenny and I share an agent, so I heard whispers that it might be, I loved almost working with him in the past, and was excited to actually do so. And then they
Almost worked together.
almost sort we like passed in the hall,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
What?
And then
It was a film called Lockout with Guy Pearce.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we both worked with Guy but didn't work with each other.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Always the way.
I knew you from somewhere.
strangers in the night. Yeah, and then they shared with me Althea and a lot of things that have yet to be revealed on the show that I was
Feel free
just
to share
really
with us
blown away.
now.
Yeah, why not I just make a list for those? But yeah, I was really blown away by their plan for this woman. Like, she's really complex and really exciting to play.
For me personally, really wanted to do something new and do something else, and wanted to dig into the human condition and explore that as a performer. And then this came my way, and it was exactly the right timing for me, and it was exactly what I was craving to do artistically. And it's been a really awesome journey, and I'm learning so much, and I'm so appreciative that I was given this chance, frankly.
So if zombie apocalypses were real, who would be the first one among you to go?
Where
No,
would
I
you
feel like
go?
I'd be pretty bad.
No, I was scared of the dark until I was 14 years old. So
Scared of the dark.
yeah, I'd be the one running down the road, kind of screaming and screaming, "The dead are walking, the dead are walking," and I'd run into a wall and kill myself. I've seen it over and over again in my nightmares.
Just seems like so much effort to keep trying to surviving.
It does.
Like,
That's exactly
you know
what I
mean?
did.
Just like, oh, really?
worth
oh,
it?
God, is it? Yeah, like, this is too hard.
Once I figured out that you could get out just by puncturing your head, I'll be finding different ways of doing it every day.
What other star from the original Walking Dead universe would you like to see show up in your universe?
Can't think of one.
Judith.
Wait.
You wanted to be Negan.
Oh yeah.
I want
what if you
Carol to
meet
come
Negan?
over. I want to do some stuff with Carol. I think that'd be really fun.
She came over actually and sort of shadowed a director on our episode.
Yeah, Melissa was shadowing Michael Satrazemis while he was directing our Laura episode, and that was really fun.
We actually went for lunch, myself and Melissa, in Austin, and there were a few people who were seriously freaked out by seeing the two of us sat down for lunch at Austin. People were like, "What? Wait now? What? What?" Like that. So that was fun.
You never know. Anything can happen.
I think
Never
I
know
would
who you're
love
gonna
to
see.
Michonne.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I think I would like to meet her without fighting her or anything. Just like
Two
friendly
denies
conversation.
in one scene.
Just like normal, you know. Doesn't have to be all dramatic.
Denied of the second power.
you know.
It's all drama on our shows.
Oh, but I like to feel that we can have a conversation. Put the sword aside. Let's talk. It'll be fun.
Obviously, it's great to see such an inclusive cast. We've seen, that's it's really important for Hollywood right now. What are some other examples of inclusion you've seen on the screen, the TV show or movie that you've enjoyed this year?
Oh wow.
I just started watching Handmaid's Tale. I know I'm a little late, but that's been such a treat. That's like just, oh my God, I'm loving it. So that's my one right now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the new Steve McQueen film, Widows. I'm really looking
too.
forward to seeing that. I grew up with the original British version of that, and to see what obviously he did as well, but to see what he's doing with the movie and Viola taking front and center stage, I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm going to be front of the line for that one.
You can be my +1
Boom.
to the premiere.
I
All
Can
love,
I?
love Black Panther. Since we're in Comic-Con, I really was, it was fun, Wakanda forever. It's like one of those things.
I just heard rumors they're going to do an all-female
It's
version.
like I was asking Coleman, where are you? Like, what?
There's rumors. There's rumors that Ryan.
Fear the Walking Dead has, since its inception, has been a very inclusive show. I think that they were very conscious from the very beginning to make sure that we were cast. I mean, it was a cast from around the world, and I think that has hopefully that's ignited something within the industry as well. To see that our show, even we've had episodes that was just like all in Spanish as well, which was very popular as well. So I think that the more that we just keep telling stories, the more that we have stories that are just out there and just saying that people have full, complex lives and we're part of the universe, so that our universe actually looks like this.
It makes
because
logical
it's a reality.
sense, right?
Exactly.
That if
So
the,
it just,
the
it just
world
makes
order
sense.
is appended, if
Yeah.
society is turned on its head,
Yeah.
then the same structures. that
Everyone's
sort of
there. Exactly, right?
Oppressed various populations aren't there anymore. It's
Yeah.
pretty rad. Like
And-
you have to follow that idea through.
There's a
And-
common obstacle.
And hopefully it's not a trend of inclusion, because, sometimes it feels like, we take a few steps forward and then we take a few steps back.
Yes.
But hopefully it's just something that just makes sense. But I think it starts to make even more sense. We have more inclusion as producers, as showrunners, as directors, as writers. So it's important for, I think all of us on the stage, we do many things as well. And that's how we can make a difference. So I think that's great and it's necessary and it just makes sense.
And
We
for
need to
us,
be in the room where it happens.
on Fear and on Walking Dead, for us in the second half of the season, we have some new characters coming on that are so thrilling in terms of this subject that you're speaking of.
Yeah.
And also Walking Dead's just brought on 2 new female characters. One is deaf in real life, and the character is deaf from the comic book. And so I'm really excited about the whole Walking Dead universe with regard to inclusion, and it's always been, but
It always
more
feels
so
important.
this
It feels
coming
very
season.
important for our universe.
It's
that
also
that makes sense.
reflected in the viewership too, because our shows have always had equal, more or less, female and male viewership, so, which is quite amazing because usually it's tipped one way or the other. For this show, it's like almost equal for both.
And I also like not just that in both of our shows, not just that it has happened, but also the way that it was happened. There was no fanfare. There was no pat ourselves on the back about it. It was a straightforward decision that was made, and it was done with very little fuss. There were characters that were female in the books that were cast as male, and male in the books that were cast as female, black in the books that were cast as white, white in the books that were cast as black. We've been doing it long before people were talking about inclusion, and we've been doing it in a quiet way that made a lot of difference. And I think as Alicia said, it's reflected in our fan base because they recognised it before we were started giving it a new word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool that we're also from all over the world. Like even for our experience, I learned so much from Australia, from from everyone. It's I mean, Kim was here, Frank is from London, and Lenny, like their experience, like it just makes it fun, and it's how it should be because this world is we're just living in it, and what matters to her is it's nice to learn from that and to understand it and appreciate it, and the universe also shows that. I mean,
think
we've
it's
been
safe
traveling.
to say it's one of the aspects of the franchise that we're all the proudest of.
Absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
It's really special.
It is not a
Is
gimmick.
that not a gimmick at all?
Point.
It's just storytelling. What makes sense for storytelling?
Yes.